We're going to look at questions 8, 9, and 10, which all deal with standard deviation in some form. In this case, which data set has the largest standard deviation? Rather than calculating the standard deviation for all 4 sets, a shortcut here is to just determine which would be the largest without actually calculating all 4. In order to do that, we first need to find the mean of each data set. So add set A up and divide by 4. You're going to get a mean of 45. The mean of set B ends up being 75. Set C is a mean of 65. Set D is a mean of 55. We're going to see here how far from the mean each data value is, or in other words, how far the data deviates from its mean. So this is only 10 away. This is 10 away from the mean, 10 away, and 30 away. We're going to do that for each one, and then we can easily tell which one deviates the most, which means it would have the largest standard deviation. So 55 is 20 away. This is 0 away, 0 away, and 20 away. In this case, this is 30 away, 10 away, 10 away, and 30 away. This is 20 away, 0, 0, and 20. So we can see here that overall set C has the largest deviation from the mean. On number 9, we're looking at some data that was collected on how long students spend on homework each night. The middle 95% of the data fell between 30 and 90 minutes. Determine the mean and the standard deviation. So when we look at the normal curve, we're trying to find the mean, and we're trying to find the standard deviation. So this would be like 1 standard deviation away, 2 away, 3 away. Same thing on this side. Now the middle 95% of the data is from the 2 standard deviations below to 2 standard deviations above. So this is 95%, the middle 95%. We also know that the middle 95% fell between 30 minutes and 90 minutes. So if we're trying to find the mean, which is this value, we're finding the value that's halfway between 30 and 90, or the average of 30 and 90, which is 60 minutes. Now if I now want to find, so this is now 60, if I want to find how big 1 standard deviation is, well, I know 2 standard deviations is 30, so 1 standard deviation is exactly 15. And number 10, primary school reports a mean height of its students as 1.4 meters with a standard deviation of 0.15. Determine whether each statement is true or false. So a student measuring 1.6 meters is 0.2 standard deviations above the mean. So we can try to prove whether this is true or not. So 0.2 standard deviations would be this much above the mean, so plus 1.4. So that would be 0.2 times 0.15 plus 1.4 gives us a height of 1.43, which is not equal to 1.6. So this is a false statement. A student measuring 1.13 meters is 1.8 standard deviations below the mean. So I would want to take the mean and subtract 1.8 standard deviations. And that gives us 1.13, which is correct. This is a true statement.